I call the honourable member for Greenway.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. I firstly endorse the comments of the Foreign Minister and acknowledge, as Parliament did yesterday and this debate has done, her efforts and her role in this tragedy. But I do want to confine my comments today to a local resident of Greenway who was unfortunately one of the innocent lives lost on MH17. In the aftermath of the MH17 tragedy, I was very saddened to learn that a member of our community, Stanhope Gardens resident Miss Gabrielle Lachey, was amongst the victims. I wish to pay tribute to Ms Lachey's memory and convey my deepest sympathy to her son and her family. Ms Lachey, a German national, was working and living in Australia with her son since 2000. Until this tragedy, Australians were able to observe from a distance the conflict that has been taking place in the Ukraine. That was no longer the case, as our community struggles now with the reality that this has claimed one of our own. My thoughts and prayers are with the families of all the victims of this terrible tragedy. The local media in Greenway rightly focused on the life of someone who was obviously a very special person. Miss Lachey, as I said, from Stanhope Gardens, had just got engaged. She was a preschool teacher at the German International School at Terry Hill since 2000. It is said she would be remembered as a much-loved and caring teacher. She was 47 years old and she became engaged to another member of the school staff, business manager Mr Andreas Scharf, in February. They lived together with Miss Lachey's adult son, Tim. So Tim lost a mother and Andreas was denied a life with the woman he loved and planned to spend the rest of his life with. Originally from the West German town of Aachen, Miss Lachey had been in her native country visiting her mother while on holidays before planning to return to Sydney before the start of the school term the following Monday. She was travelling on a German passport. Her German international school colleagues returned to school with students due to start the term that Wednesday. As further reports from our local media indicated, Miss Lachey has a 23-year-old son and a twin sister as well who lives in Brisbane. Comments from the principal of the school, Principal Erhard Seifert, said she would be missed. And these are quotes from him. She was always joyful, very optimistic, that's something she can spread around the children so everyone around her also feels the same way. Lots of children will be touched by this. At the last graduation, we had quite a few children who went with her from preschool through to the whole school. So once the children come back, it will be really hard because every class has some connection to Gabby. Her neighbour, Peter Arnold, said Miss Lachey was a lovely woman. And it is quoted here, she would spend every spare holiday going to visit her mother. He said the teacher was a gentlewoman. She was the kindest, sweetest lady you could ever meet. The tragic thing is she just got her back garden done while she was away, and the sad thing is she will never get to see it. And it goes on again to quote from Principal Erhard Seifert, saying there was devastation at the school following the news and still sometimes disbelief because you feel like she can come in at any minute. You can't believe she is dead. She was like a second mother to her students. May Ms Gabrielle Lachey rest in peace and may her families be comforted by the efforts and the thoughts of all Australians.